everyone, it's Orsi from Women as Entrepreneurs. Today I'm talking to Rebekah Campbell, who is the CEO and founder of Orsi. That's a startup website, and we're going to hear all about it from her today. So thank you for having us.
Thank you.
How did it all start? Can you just tell us a little bit about the company?
Orsi. So I originally, prior to starting Orsi, I would have another company. It was actually a band management company, so I managed lots of big Australian rock bands. And I just experienced a problem in my industry. Promoting concert tours, advertising was very ineffective. So I thought of an idea to solve that problem, and then I did it offline first, and it worked really well. So I thought, wow, what if I could create some kind of online version of that? I actually went out to some friends and said, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Would you use it, and what do you think? And I just got such an amazing response. People were so excited by the idea as an alternative to advertising that I thought, there's something in this.
So when was that turning point when it all started to fall into place?
My friend actually gave me $50,000 and he wrote me a check, and I went over to his office and picked it up, and then I put it in the bank. That was a really scary moment. That was much scarier.
You were responsible for.
Yes.
You became responsible for all the other people.
Yes, that was much scarier than actually buying a domain name myself or putting my own money into it or my own time into it. Actually taking other people's money is just such a massive responsibility. You can't imagine what that feeling is going to be like until you do it.
Being a female entrepreneur, what is your experience on the journey? What disadvantages and advantages did you face? And also, why do you think there are not more female entrepreneurs, especially in the technology startup field you are in?
I think the technology startup field, for me, that's kind of an easy question to answer. I think that there's two reasons. One is a lot of startups are started by technology people, so programmers, and there isn't very many female programmers. If you look at the offices of any major technology company, you'll see very few females wandering around. Something I've noticed is that I think people are more willing to help you, which is a real advantage. So if you can meet usually a male, because this is a male-dominated industry, and you're looking for advice, they're going to be probably much more likely to, if you're another male, they might feel threatened, or they might probably not offer as much help. Whereas females, before you know it, sometimes you're doing something that could potentially be competing with them, but before you know it, they're opening their contact books and hooking you up with all these amazing people. And
a startup should include, or every startup has an idea person, or obviously should have the technology people as well. But a female could bring such a different mindset.
I think definitely
into the group itself, that it increases the chances of success.
Definitely. I mean, I think between my technology team, who are all males, and me and the other female in the organisation at the moment who does sales, that we have very different perspectives to bring to the table, and I think that they're both equally valid. Females bring a real sense of people and a sense of what people want and creating something for customers. Woman for me, my experience is that females use much more intuition and feel to make decisions, which means that you can make kind of more high level decisions that are good, and the technology guys is much more about the data. And so you really need both sides to get a great product. For me, I have 0 female investors. I've never had a female board director. So all the people who are really surrounding and helping me are male, and I just think that you don't, even though they are all wonderful and I have great relationships with them, it's just not the same as if I was a male founder. It's definitely harder. There's not the role models that there are for male entrepreneurs. It's harder to find them. You actually do approach things differently to males. So although you can have male mentors, your approach is always going to be slightly different, and therefore you're going to have unique problems that only a female mentor could help you with or support you with. And it's very hard to find those mentors. I think it is much more lonely because you are surrounded, although you're surrounded by men, and they're great and supportive and helpful and everything, it's not the same as if you're a male founder you become much closer, I think, with the people that are helping you and the people that are working, not necessarily working for you, but potentially, or definitely all the people that help you. You probably would end up hanging out at the pub with them on Friday night or going and playing golf or...
What's a day like for you in your shoes?
Okay, well, I exercise in the morning, so I generally get up about 5:30. And then I don't get to work that early. I get to work at about 9. And what do? Well, it's hard. It's always different. Every day is different. There's no kind of really real schedule except for the kind of regularly scheduled meetings with staff. I try and spend as much time as I possibly can speaking to customers and testing the product, and that's something I've learned to do. It's very easy to spend time working, making spreadsheets, filling in forms, all that kind of stuff. Very important stuff. But you can spend all of your time doing that and getting through a big list of things you've got to do and not spend any time talking to customers. Yeah, I'd encourage people to spend as much time as possible talking to customers, even right at the beginning before you build the product. Just pretend that it's built and go and try and sell it and go and talk to them about how they would use it or what they would use it for, and you'll get a gauge just to see what excites people, what bores people. They're not going to give you the idea, but they'll give, things will spark ideas in you.
Well, that's all very exciting for you. We're going to follow on what you're going to be doing as post. And thank you so much, Rebekah, for sharing your experiences with us. You watched Women's Entrepreneurs with Rebekah Campbell from Orsi.